Can we ask you to take a seat, please? Take your seat, come. Hello, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Bonjour à toutes et tous. Welcome in Belgium. Welcome in a magical place. Behind us, when we have one of the most famous corner in the world. Tomorrow we'll have one of the most famous race in the world, the Total Energy 24 Hours of Spa. It will be the 74th running, and we will for sure enjoy it. Spa is nowadays the biggest GT race in the world without any doubt. And it has been like that for more than 20 years now, thanks to Mr. GT. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the press conference, the annual press conference for Stefan Rattel. Welcome, Stefan Rattel. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Total Energy 24 Hours of Spa. It's an annual pleasure to speak to you and to present you our project, where we are with our various championships that we organize around the world. We will start with showing you a bit about our company, SRO, where we are. Then we'll speak about the FIA Motorsport Games, our curbstone activity, our track series, track days company. And then we'll speak about GT1, GT2, GT3, GT4, touring cars, eSport, Total Look Rally, the future in GTX, and then we'll make a couple of announcements. While GT1, GT2, GT3, GT4, it's true that when I see the new Ferrari that just been presented, it's true that it's like reminding me of the GT1 time, but I've been 30 years in the business, so I'm a bit traditional. And should I look at the production cars, which should be what we should be looking at when we love GT, the GT1s are the hypercars. They are the LaFerrari, the 918, they are the Paganis Honda and Huayra and all of this. Then you have the GT2 that are the biggest, you know, still some with V12 and so on, and the big, very powerful 700 horsepower, 650, 700 horsepower plus GT cars. Then you have the GT3, that you all know what they are. They are the mid-high range GTs. And then you have the small GT, which are GT4. So over time, we're trying to promote these four classes at the light level. And even if the GT3 end up being quicker than GT1, you will allow me to keep the traditional names, which have been the one we've been running for so many years. So SRO today, we're running 13 championships and series around the world that represent 170 races, 57 test and track days. We have 5 eSport championships, 46 different independent events around the world on 5 continents, 220 hours of racing, 25 esports races, and 5 esports championships. So thanks to our very dedicated team on working on all 5 continents, we're very busy. I'm not going to go through the numbers, but thanks to the presence of an extraordinary man this year, I will mention Valentino Rossi. You can imagine that our views, our reach around the world has taken a big jump. And also with TV, we had more TV than we ever had that took our programs, and it's for us a very, very good year, and we hope that we will maintain this number and grow them over time. Our environmental action, it's very important for us, the environment. We're very environmentally conscious, and we're not going to go to the detail of all what we're doing, but we're really pushing to be as carbon friendly as possible. And one of the key elements is that from this year, all our teams around the world, every car that runs in an SRO championship is contributing a carbon offset. And we have, last year we only did a big forestation project in Indonesia, and many teams were like, oh, this is a little bit far from us. So this year we decided to come closer to our teams, to have projects in Asia for sure, but also in Europe, in America, so everybody believes we are closer to their action. And also we are obviously considering the introduction of biofuel for 2023. We have discussed with the teams, we have discussed with the manufacturers, and we will take a decision toward the end of the year on when we can introduce this biofuel, which is, of course, a very important step. It's a very important step, but should you look at... Hello? Technical hiccup. Yeah. Should we look at... Can we solve that? Otherwise, it's already, you're here for quite a while, so I wouldn't like to make it longer. Where is the base? No, no, here. That's not good. Can we solve that? Okay, so we're back here. So, what we said is, you have the same problem with your car sometime. Hey, can I have another? Could I have another remote? No, I still know how to press a button. So, la 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 la. Maybe this one works better. Maybe it's only a battery problem. I told you these electric things are complicated. You have to believe. No. No. Bon. So what do? We do it manually. You bring me the computer here. I don't know. Yeah, you can. I do like this every time, and that would be easier. So, to enhance our sustainability partnership, we want to motivate teams to do more for the environment. We want to really push them to offset, to be careful on their plastic consumption, on everything. And for that, we wanted to give a prize, a challenge, a sustainability challenge. And we have a partner, which is what could we do better than a sun energy company with Sun Energy One as our sustainability partner. And I wanted to ask Kenny Abul, is Kenny here to come and give us a couple of words on Kenny? Please join in. People can talk about the environment, but not many can do as much as you do. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for the welcome. He gave me 7 minutes notice for this. So completely unprepared, but I'm really happy to be here. And it's a beautiful picture of the car. My co-drivers are here. Look, for us, you know, we started with 3 people in 2008. Now we're over 4,000. One of the largest solar companies in the world, and very, very busy and getting busier. And you know, I had a choice when I was 16, 17 to continue with racing in Australia in V8 supercar or go into business. And because of my spending habits, I decided to go into business. And luckily for me, but you know, of course I miss racing. So now I'm, you know, at my age trying to do as much as I can and have the luxury of racing wherever I like and pick the best series. And to me, you know, following in the footsteps of Crowdstrike, this is the classiest GT show in the world. This is, to me, just everything about it is first class. It's very well organized. It's very intelligent, very thoughtful. You know, at my age with 4 little kids, I mean, we have to worry about safety and we have to worry about where we go and how we get there. And it's a nice breath of fresh air that everything is well done here. And I couldn't be happier. You know, I'll stay racing as long as I'm competitive and still driving okay, so I'll stay in this series as long as I can, and my company will support as long as we can, and I'm sure George is the same. So thank you for the invite.
Thank you, Kenny. And I really hope that this contribution will push our teams, push them again to work and be more carbon friendly. So when we talk, and that I think it's a very interesting page, because when we talk emission, everybody looks at the fuel we use, when in fact it's only concerned with our big engines and our long races. It's only concerned 5.9% of our emission. And this is a deep study we've done with Futera, which is, I think, the most renowned environmental agency based in London that works for the FIA, that works for Formula One. And the travel and the logistic is really where are our emissions. And it's why it's very important when we draw our calendars. And it's an interesting map when you see where our teams are situated and where our races are taking place on the Fanatec GT World Challenge Europe. You can see that we are exactly, okay, there is one team who's in Poland, who is a bit dry, but for the rest, we're really racing where our teams are. And in terms of these emissions, this is really the important stuff. Same thing in America, where we try to build our calendar, not going in zigzag, but going in a way that teams can leave their truck locally. And also, you know, both the Fanatec GT World globally and the Intercontinental GT Challenge all are designed for local teams to use their cars. And when we launch the championship, we always said it's more carbon friendly and more economical to fly drivers and engineers than to fly cars and tons of equipment. So we believe at SRO that we are exceptionally environmentally friendly, despite the fact that we, for the moment, have these big engines using and these long races and not using yet the right fuel for it. So the next big project at SRO is the FIA Motorsport Games. Many people tell me, oh, we don't do e-sport. This is not e-sport. This is part of it is e-sport, but it's only one of 17 different categories. It is probably at the moment the SRO biggest dream is to do the Olympics of motorsport, and I'm going to show you all what it includes. If you've been like me, frustrated at each Olympic Games to say why there is no motorsport, motorsport would deserve to be there. I had a dream to make it our own Olympics of motorsport, where the drivers compete with their nations. We started in Bahrain with one category, GT. We did it in Rome with 6 categories. We're going to Marseille with 17 categories, which what will be an amazing, and you can go through all of them, what will be an amazing opening ceremony near the old port of Marseille, where each team, national team, with all the representatives from digital to GT to touring car to drift and so on, to rally, will be behind their flags exactly like at the Olympic. And we will give you for GT, which is more specific here. We have 3 categories. We have an endurance categories mixed with LMP3, and we're working in collaboration with our friend of the ACO to do this class. where you can have 3 drivers for 2.5 hours. Then we have the traditional SRO sprint format with 2 drivers, a bronze and a silver. And then we have a super sprint race, which is really for no limitation. You can have pros, and the way it's designed, you have the sprints and endurance on the Friday and Saturday, and the super sprint with only 1 driver on the Sunday, which means that with the same car and the same drivers, you can do a lot. And like in the Olympic, try to go for more than 1 gold medal. Curbstone activity. Curbstone is a company we acquired jointly with the RSCB, which is absolutely working thanks to Ludovic Coleman, who managed it, which is growing very, very fast. We now organize more than 70 events a year on sand, on road, on snow, from the UAE to Lapland to it's really caters for amateur drivers that want. It's really our incubators, you know, the first step in the world of racing, and people that buy a nice car that can't drive it as they would like to drive it on the road come on the racetrack, and from there the one with the talent and a bit of money can then go up and go into the racing world, while it's also used as a fantastic track activity company for all of our teams. We also do rallies that are named GT Tours, and also exposition for contemporary automobile show for the manufacturers. GT1, that's another of my crazy dreams, is how to bring the most exclusive cars together on the track. And we do that essentially with the car manufacturers, and we're very happy of the support, starting with Pagani and with Lamborghini. And we're talking now with other manufacturers who do have an interest to join us and to bring for the fan, for the public, these amazing cars. But instead of doing it just importantly as a track day, we're mixing it up with our Fanatec GT World Europe, some of our Fanatec GT World Europe events. And next year, we'll be doing it in America as well. We'll have the first event in Sonoma, the second event at Spa, and the third event in Barcelona. You see what it looks like, and we hope to bring over time more and more of these cars for an exceptional show. And really, the GT1 Sports Club is, you know, after 30 years, I still have to have some inspiration, and that's really one that I very much love. GT2 is a very important project for SRO. You're going to tell me why GT2? Why GT2? Because we have so much success with Gt4. It has grown over time into such an important categories with hundreds of cars running in tens of championships around the world that everybody wanted to come to Gt4. But Gt4, as I told you at the beginning, is for smaller. GT is not for, normally for the big GT cars. And when I had more and more powerful cars wanting to join to Gt4, we said we're going to keep the same concept, which are cars closer to road production, and also to have what is not possible in Gt3, small constructors, such as KTM or Brabham. We're going to create a class very powerful for this car. The idea is, in terms of performance, to be close to Gt3, and the best time here, the qualifying time of the GT2 last weekend was 2:20, so you can see we're not very far from this objective, while being, in terms of cost, closer to Gt4, and I'm running a GT2 Audi myself, and I can tell you that the cost is very reasonable. So we have exactly matched what we wanted. We have a class which is powerful, which is impressive, which is fast, and which is economically reasonable. And I'm absolutely delighted that after 2-3 years of course, we've been delayed by the pandemic like everything, but after this couple of years, we had Audi, Brabham, KTM, Lamborghini kindly adapted their Super Trofeo to GT2, the Porsche, and we welcomed Invitational for the time being, but I very much hope they will homologate it in GT2, the Mercedes-AMG Track Series, and it's been absolutely amazing for us that Maserati, first of all, came back to GT racing. You've seen the MC12 running today. Maserati has been a very important brand in the history of modern GT racing. And for Maserati to come back to competition and to choose the GT2 category has been huge for us. And I would like to call Mr. Giovanni Gt4 to come and present you this amazing project. Thank you, Giovanni.
Hello, everyone. My name is Giovanni Gt4. I'm the head of Maserati Corse. It's a true pleasure to be here with all of you, and congratulations on all you've achieved. Seeing your presentation is certainly exciting, and I think you deserve a congratulations for what you put together. So we're happy to be a part of this family, and we're extremely excited to be in GT2. Maserati has a long, rich history of racing. We were born on the track. This is where we belong, and this is where we're going to stay. And if you see our MC12, it's impossible not to get emotional because of the rich and strong, powerful performance that it's had over the years. Just looking at the championship trophies and seeing our Maserati Trident is an incredible experience. Being here in Spa, another incredible experience. And I think that we made a promise a couple of years ago, and that promise was kept. We're going back to racing. Think about the MC20, think about Formula E, think about Project 24, which we announced last week, and now just a couple of days ago and today with GT2. So 4 milestones that kind of remind us where we were born and where we come from, but that we actually made a promise we're going to keep it. So we are sticking by our words, and I think that's the most important thing. And we're ready to race and ready to compete. Competition is in our blood, it's in our DNA, and that's never going to go away. And I think being here with all of you today is sort of remind us what we need to do, and be on the track is where we need to be. But you know, my words have a say, but I think images and a history and video probably speaks louder than my words. So I think that we can show you a little bit of something that kind of puts together a little bit of the 100 years in racing that Maserati's had.
Riesce magistralmente a passare in testa, aumenta il distacco e taglia vittorioso il traguardo.
And here is the next chapter of Audacity in our evolution, which is a GT2 car that will be racing next year mid-season here in 2023. But as you can see in that video, think about Tipo 26, which was the first racing car that had the Trident on it. And you have Fangio and you have De Filippis. You know, we were telling a story already 60 years ago. The championships before it in Formula One, in GT, and in other things we've accomplished and what we have ahead of us. That's what makes this exciting. And to be here with all of you today is another exciting moment. And I'm happy to share it with all of you. And thank you, Stefan. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Thank
See
you.
you soon.
We can't wait to have you on the grid. And from the number of messages I received from clients from many different places telling me, when is the car going to be available? Can we have it for the beginning of next season? You have to speed up because many people want it. So we're going to start with the Gt3 calendar, 2023 Gt3 calendar. We will start at Monza with Fanatec GT World Europe. We will continue at the Red Bull Ring. The date is not finalized yet, but it will be in May. We will be where we will be with the paddock GT Masters. Then we'll go to a new meeting in Dijon in June, which is one of the most beautiful circuits in France and very centrally located. Then we want to go, we don't know why, but every year bringing this clientele, because it's really a championship for non-professional drivers, to bring them on the 20th of July here at Spa, they don't really buy it. So we decided to take them to a very nice destination in the Algarve in Portugal, then another very nice destination in September in Valencia, and then we go to Paul Ricard. We call it the Sunshine Series, and I think it's going to be quite popular with our teams and drivers. Also very important is that we're very happy, I mean, we're delighted with the grid at Spa this year. 66 cars, but only 2 AM cars. And the danger we have in GT racing, championships only die because they get too professional. When they get too professional, they get too expensive, and we absolutely want to maintain an AM class. And we believe that for the future of the Intercontinental GT Challenge, we want to introduce to all around GT2 categories for the non-professional drivers. So you can have 2 or 3 bronze and a silver drivers, and you can compete in that class. So it will be introduced from next year, and progressively, it's not gonna, we're gonna have 10 GT2 cars running, but progressively, we want to rebuild this AM class because it was really conceived as a category with less downforce and more power. And you know, for an amateur driver, the power is easier to use than the downforce, because if you don't feel comfortable at at a certain speed in a corner, it's difficult to go and get it, even if the car can do it, as the pros are showing you, and I know what I'm talking about. So, and this class will be running then at the highest possible BOP level, and these cars can go quicker than they run currently in the Fanatec European Series. GT3 continues to be a huge success. Look globally, 315 cars running. I'm not talking of the other hundreds which have been sold, which are with collectors, which are with track day people, but 315 cars racing on all this continent. It's pretty impressive. And for our GT3 championships, so we start with the leading one, I would say, somehow, the Intercontinental GT Challenge powered by Pirelli. The 2023 calendar, we're happy to present it today. We will start with the Bathurst 12 hours, back to the traditional date. Let's hope that COVID variant and super variants are totally behind us, and we can start on the 4th, 5th of February. Then we will go to the Kyalami 9 hours that we have preferred to put earlier in the season, at a date where all the team will have ample times to come back and be in time at Monza. Then we go to, of course, to our 24 hours of Spa. Then we go to the Indianapolis 8 hours, and then we will finish again. We thought we could go back to Suzuka. It was our hope, but our Japanese friends are still a bit cautious, and it's been postponed again. So we will finish, thanks to Andrea Ficarelli to welcome us in this event that he worked many, many years. And for us, it's the perfect event. It's Abu Dhabi. It's very popular with teams, and it's also a Pirelli Supply Championship. So we're very happy to join Andrea and his normally Pro-Am and Am grid with, I hope, a good number of pro cars going to the Gulf 12 hours. Another result, because we did Kyalami in February. We couldn't do again Kyalami in December and do it again in February the year after. So already this year, we will move from Kyalami and we will go to Abu Dhabi on the 11th December of this year. And I'm sure it's going to be a good success with teams and drivers. Now, Total Energy 24 Hours of Spa. This year is the 74th edition of this amazing race. Next year will be the 75th edition, and in 2 years it will be the 100th year of this race. So we have a lot of celebrate for the next 3 years, and we have many things in mind to make it even more exciting for the public. 66 cars, 9 brands, 23 pro cars, 43 platinum drivers, 235 drivers, 35 nationalities. If they could come all to the FIA Motorsport Game, it would be very welcome. So it's really, we said it many times, but it's undoubtedly the biggest GT race in the world. And I would like to call Bernadette Pinoy, Managing Director of Total Energy in Belgium, to say a few words.
Thank you, Stéphane. Thank you for your presence. I see you are many, and welcome to the 74th edition of the Total Energy 20 Hours of Spa. We are pleased to confirm the partnership once again with the 24 Hours of Spa for this year. First, we were joining as a partner at the end of the 90s, and we remain committed to the event through the switch to GT rule in 2001, and stepped up to the role of title sponsor in 2007, 15 years ago. It has since become synonymous with the Twice Around the Clock Classic, both as a committed partner and as a supplier also of the high-performance fuel used by all competitors in a safe way. Safety is, for us, as well, a value. Total Energy wishes to help make this event a moment of celebration and sharing, and to confirm its foothold in Belgium. This event is also a meeting with our customers through thousands of tickets offered through our gas station, our branded reseller, and also, of course, our Facebook page. Very important for us, this race can also be a showcase for innovation, in particular with endurances, and an opportunity for our company to raise awareness of its multi-energy dimension and climate ambition, and to actively engage all its stakeholders in this ambition. The new name of the company, Total Energy, embodies the dynamic into which we have resolutely entered. That is a multi-energy company which implements its mission of producing and supplying energy that is always more clean, reliable, and accessible to the greatest possible number of people. Total Energy also stands for new mobility. We want to be always safer, cleaner, more performant, with the aim of reducing the carbon intensity of the energy product made available to our customer. We have moved forward with a large panel of new solutions, going from bio-based fuel to a network of electric charging solutions through Europe, but also to hydrogen solutions and a mobility card regrouping multiple mobility solutions. We have been pioneers with several of these solutions, and we have great ambition to continue serving our clients with the best product in this new and evolving market. Total Energy is now more than ever committed to better energy and determined. Now, because I have the micro, I want also to tell you that I wish you to enjoy this race on the magnificent circuit of Spa Francorchamps, one, if not the one, most beautiful circuit of the world. We wish you a lot of fun and a happy meeting during the coming days. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernadette. You know, we will never thank enough Total, now Total Energy, for their support over the year. When we took over this event, times were different, and touring cars at the last years of touring car was not that excited, and it had lost a lot of public, and to have Total Energy with us, all what they did, the promotion through all the fuel station, and I think it's the first fuel distributor in Belgium, through all the fuel station, everywhere you had the Total then and Total Energy now. 24 Hours of Spa has been a huge contribution to what they've done up to now, and I really hope in one way or the other, especially powered by, that we will continue with your company, because for all these wonderful years that we have spent together. Now the Fanatec GT World Challenge powered by AWS, that's our big global customer racing championship. with 29 events on 4 continents. We have this year, like last year, 7 manufacturers entered that are scoring points through their customer teams on all the races around the world. It represents a total of 110 GT3 cars, and it's the first series to integrate eSport in the team classification. I don't know if I've seen Thomas, if he has arrived, because Thomas is Fanatec and is the man that has wanted to convince me and has convinced me to merge reality and sim racing. Robert, you're the one speaking. Perfect. Come.
Thank you, Stefan. It's hot. I'll keep it short also here on a short notice, but we just want to simply say thank you. We are proud to be the title sponsor of this series, and thankful for giving us opportunity to merge virtual and real racing. I think we bring a lot of new fans to the series by doing so, and looking forward to doing so many more years to come. Besides that, we also want to congratulate you with 30 years of GT racing. I mean, still the most handsome guy on track after all these years. So I hope I look like that in many years to come. But yeah, let's keep it short, and thank you all.
Thank you. And we'll try. I have to speed up because after, and I really encourage you, if you don't know sim racing, come at 3:30, correct, in the Fanatec Arena to see a high-level sim race. People don't realize how close. If I put my wife in front of it, she won't see the difference between the reality and that. It's exactly looking the same, and the performance of the same. We are the only championship, think about it, that you take a driver who does a qualifying in his car on the track, and then the next day or a couple hours later, he goes in a sim. The same car, the same track, and we've had, I think the closest we had was 2,000 of a difference. We have very commonly a couple of hundreds, couple of tens of thousands between what we have on the track. I mean, you guys in technology are genius. I don't know how you achieve that because it's, you know, imagine the modelization of the track, the modelization of the cars, then the transmission. I mean, it's just mind-blowing. So congratulations to all of you. And I'm very happy because I heard, we will know more about that, but maybe now you're going to do the GT2, and so I'll be able to train in the sim without not having the right gear and not having the right braking point, because if I try to do on the GT2 what is done in the game on the GT3, I'm going to crash. So, and of course, Fanatec GT World Challenge powered by AWS. So I will call CJ Moses to tell us a few words about this amazing partnership.
Thank you, appreciate it, thank you. Thank you, Stefan. So for those of you that may not know what Amazon Web Services is, I'm sure you're familiar with Amazon, the company, but AWS, if you've ever used the internet or heard of the cloud, that is a lot of us. So a lot of the internet is powered by AWS. 200 services across 28 regions around the world. So that's the technology part of things. But we're very proud to continue to be the technology provider, although not PowerPoint, that's another company. I guess it's still working. But to be the technology provider for SRO Motorsports as a whole, as well as obviously the GT World Challenge series. It's even more a privilege to be aligned with such a company so that we have such a close culture. I think one of the things that we share is neurodiversity and having very diverse teams that think based upon that neurodiversity, bringing different cultures together in order to be able to do the things that we do, and using that thought and thought leadership to move forward. Sustainability is a huge part of what we do and what we're doing here with you as well at the SRO. AWS and our Amazon has co-founded the Climate Pledge, essentially a pledge to be net zero across the totality of many businesses across the world by 2040. And today I can say that we're actually the largest purchaser of clean energy or renewable energy in the world. So as part of that and being part of SRO, the series that is taking sustainability, you know, as important as it is on the forefront of what you're doing is why we are partners, one of the reasons why we're partners, and we look forward to being the technology provider for SRO going far into the future. So with that, I just want to say thank you for allowing us to be here, and looking forward to the 24 hours and watching George and the Crowdstrike car go straight to the front. With that, thank you, Stefan.
Thank you, CJ. Thank you very much. So you're waiting for that. The calendar, we are stable. Let's not, when you have full grids during the season, full grids at the Total Energy 24 Hours of Spa, you don't want to change much. We made a survey with our teams. What is the circuit you would like to go that is not on the calendar? And the vast majority wanted to go back to Monza. So we will start at Monza, and the rest of the championship is extremely exactly identical to this year. Brands Hatch, Manicourt, Paul Ricard, Danvort, Misano, Spa, Hockenheim, Valencia, Barcelona. If the toy is not broken, don't change it. Don't move it. So, and now that's something important on driver categorization, because you know we presented you something at Barcelona last year on the new, you can take pictures because that's very important. Basically, we had to revise the driver categorization, and working together with our friends of ACO and convincing our friends of IMSA and convincing the FIA, we have progressively achieved what we were looking for, which was basically to cut, to make the long story short, we had a huge silver grid made of young drivers, but these young drivers, some of them have started racing at 8 years old, some of them even younger, and some other, the father said, graduate before you can race. So as you can imagine, in every sport, if you start at 8 or if you start at 22, you're not going to have the same level. So basically, we are cutting the silver class in two, with all of the young drivers having a wealth of experience going to gold, and all the one having a later start in their career being silver. And also we had the problem that after a certain age, a pro would become a bronze. And for having driven with Bernd Schneider at the Red Bull Ring this year, I can tell you that a pro my age or me were not exactly at the same speed. So it has been agreed that a pro, even getting older, will remain a silver, while a bronze, who is a gentleman driver, who's never been a pro and will never be a pro, will be the true bronze. So that are basically the main modifications. So based on this new definition, we have new classes in Fanatec GT World Europe powered by AWS. Now we're going to make it simple. We have overall, which is basically the pro class. We have the Gold Cup, which was previously known as a Silver Cup, but since most of the silver drivers which are in that class today are super fast and they're basically gold, that will become the Gold Cup. What was previously the Gold Cup with, I remind you, a bronze, a silver, and a pro will become the Silver Cup, and the Pro-Am Cup will be the Bronze Cup. I think it fits well together. Overall, Gold Cup, Silver Cup, Bronze Cup. At the beginning, I'm going to have to explain it a number of times to about 1,000 people, but I think through times we will get there, and I think it's clearer for everybody, and it's a good presentation. And of course, in the IGTC race, in addition, we will have GT2 at the AM class. Am I clear? I hope I am. We continue with Speed Up. So America, important because many people are waiting for this championship, prepared by Greg Gill and his team, will start in February at NOLA, go to Sonoma, a very welcome return to COTA, I think Circuit of the Americas in Austin for the one which are not so well, VIR, Virginia International Raceway, Road America, Sebring, and our Indianapolis 8 Hours, which count for both the Fanatec GT World and IGTC. And we see a growing grid, as you can see. We are finally at 20 cars in GT3 in America, and I really believe that we're going to grow further in the coming year. Asia, we have not yet finalized the calendar, but we're very happy as Benjamin can't be there because he's been struck with COVID, but that he caught in Japan, that, you know, we would think there was not so much COVID there. And we have had two very good races at Suzuka and Fuji with 25 cars, and we will rebuild an important championship there. We believe in it, and which will be, as you know, linked with our common project and partnership with the ACO to restart the Asian Le Mans Series. Basically, Fanatec GT World Asia will be sprint, and the Asian Le Mans Series will be the endurance part of it, a bit like what we do in Europe. GT World Challenge Australia, we also need a bit more time for the calendar, but also slowly but surely the grid is growing and SRO is going to be more and more involved in it. And Benjamin will be managing Asia and Australia jointly with our partners of ARG. But I also see a good potential for GT3 racing in Australia. Very successful and growing, as you can see, in America is, you know, World Challenge. Initially was a touring car sprint series. It went into a GT sprint series. Then SRO got in. We brought these strange, you know, mixes of semi-endurance to the American market. It worked quite well, but some people still prefer to be alone in their car. That is our sprint series in America, GT America, powered by AWS, and that's a very successful series. In the UK, that's one of the oldest championships we promote. It's been successful over the years, never a dent, always near to full grid or at full capacity. The only change to the calendar was to bring the British to the sun. Every year the calendar is exactly the same, and they were coming to Spa every year. So we decided for once to take them. It's quite easy because you have ferries going from the UK straight to Portugal. So we will be going to the Algarve. Now GT4, the SRO class with all these many licenses and series around the world. The calendar, it's all together always with Fanatec GT World Europe. And we have, I mean, look at the number of cars. It's becoming, you know, we would welcome some of these 50 cars because for a sprint series it's a bit too much. We would welcome to move some of them into GT2. And while I was at the driver briefing at Imola and I looked at the GT4 drivers, I mean, they're younger than my son. I mean, they're really, so we can see that GT4 Europe is really for young drivers. Then Fanatec GT World is really for the most professional and the best of the best amateurs. And then GT2 is a little bit older or a bit less experienced, is the right class for you. French GT also won't coming to Spa next year because we have suddenly a lot of demand from French circuits. So a little change in the calendar. We'll be going to Dijon and we will going to the Val de Vienne. So a full French calendar for a French championship. Also very successful in the number of cars. Same thing in America. GT4 is growing and booming everywhere. And our Gt4 America, Pirelli Gt4 America is very, very successful. And I want to thank Jack for his very, very hard work to keep all these drivers. I think only the Americans are difficult as the French. So thank you for keeping them all together. Then, and that news, there are not many news because we're trying to, you know, to grow what we've created. But we think for all these years, we have, I mean, these hundreds of GT4 cars, and we don't have a proper GT4 endurance race. So since I live in Rome, and I love Rome, and I love Vallelunga, and I know how nice Rome is in October, we decided to do, in partnership with the ADAC, a big race. The 6-hour Roma has been existing for a long time, and we want to make it the GT4 Endurance Cup trying to get so many GT4 from the UK, from Germany, from France, and if some of them wants to come, that will be really the big GT4 finale in Rome in October, a really nice place to go. Come with family, and that can be, we believe that will be a very good success, end of October next year. TC, this is not entirely my field of expertise, it's more Jim, who is working very well on that. But it's a success. I mean, we introduced it in France. We need to boost it up a bit because this year was a bit less successful than last year. But we believe in the category. It's cost effective, it's sprint, it's fun. And in America, it's the original World Challenge, and it continues to be a success. And we need more diversity in France to bring more of these cars. And you know, we're working on this TC X class for bigger, more powerful touring cars. And I'm sure Jim will bring other manufacturers next to BMW in that class. In the eSport world, we're very happy to welcome, we have today, so in the world of eSport, you have at 3 o'clock the Fanatec eSport GT Pro Series with the drivers from the championships. And we would like you, some of you, and many of you to come and watch it. Then at 6:30 we have an eSport conference where different companies involved in the eSport world will exchange and present. And then on Saturday, that's tomorrow, Saturday, and on Saturday at 9 o'clock we have a pro sim race with the manufacturers, pro sim drivers, and other pros which have been selected through a global competition and which are coming here to race. We have a good prize money purse, and that will be the top of what sim racing can offer. And then we have all our eSport competitions online with a new partner with Mobileye, and I will ask Mobileye representative to come and say a few words. Diane Berry.
Yes. Welcome. Hi, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Mobileye is thrilled to be taking part in the championship as the title sponsor for the esports. For over 20 years, Mobileye has been bringing cutting-edge technology to the automotive sphere. And when we saw what SRO is doing to combine the world of real-world driving with incredible technological innovation with esports, we knew that it was a natural partner for us. So we're just very excited to be here and to take part. And congratulations on 30 years. And we're very excited to be driving automotive technology and all these celebration of the combining of these two worlds together. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And all of this technology and this sim racing would not exist without the platform. And the platform is provided by Cuno Simulazioni. And I would like Assetto Corsa Competizione, and I will ask Marco to join us.
Thank you very much. My last time on this stage was in 2018, when the game was still in development, and we were wondering if it was going to be successful. After 4 years, more than 30 cars, 23 laser scanner tracks, and more than 1 million players all around the world, we can say that has been very successful. And this would not be possible without the support we received from SRO and the synergy that has been created through these 4 years. And it was even more surprising to see the approach that the racing drivers and the teams had and the way how they welcomed the possibility to join the real and the virtual competition. By the way, I'm sorry, but the lower emission championship is not yours, it's ours, because it's the virtual one. So we decided that even thanks to the American track pack that has been released just 1 month ago, and despite the main game has been released in 2019, even this pack has been very welcomed by the sim racing community. So we expanded the provision of tracks also to the United States, and we are very, very happy about that. It has been a great achievement. and we decided to support actively the SRO Gt4 Fanatec Gt4 Challenge also next year with inclusion of the 2023 season. So we'll have the new cars, the new Ferrari that has been unveiled today, the new Porsche, and the evolution of the Lamborghini Huracan Evo. Evo. So, has been a real pleasure, fun story, the possibility, the decision to produce also the GT2 pack actually has been taken yesterday, so it was not a story to be told today. But anyway, we are friends, so we'll not pay any royalty on that, and we are still friends. But I would like to say something. The final decision to include also the GT2 pack has been also inspired by Maserati with a new car that is just beautiful. So we believe that will be a great pack for Assetto Corsa Competizione. Maybe to say goodbye, we don't know, but it will be just great. Thank you very much.
Okay, sorry for the early announcement. Sometimes passion drives me. You know, I go quicker than the speed. I'm not good on speed limits. Total Look Rally. It is fantastic. Step back to the past. We've done the 60s in Rome, the Dolce Vita Rally. We've done the 80s in Paris. We will do the 70s in the south of France, Flower Power Rally. And the next one, we're back to the 80s on the 5th or 5th of May. It's Total Look, the music, the cars, the hairstyle, the accessories, the clothes. If you want to have fun, that's the place to go. 80s concert, I mean, it's really, I have to say, we work a lot, but we also try to have a bit of fun. And we did a party here in Chambord. We were up there in the little towers. So that's the kind of place that we visit with this fantastic rally. And I really wish that our American friends, if you want to enjoy Europe, you want to enjoy, you know, the most beautiful Rome, the most beautiful history, you have to come to that. You will absolutely love it. Back to serious stuff, very serious, GTX. So with creating the Total Look Rally, we have learned, we have a team now with experts into organizing this going through the various places. And we thought, what is the best way for the future of electric mobility, of electric sport? We still believe that duplicating and bringing electric cars at Spa for competition, it's going to be challenging. But we thought if we take these cars, we take them from the center of cities to the center of other cities. And our big first objective is to go from Paris to Berlin in 7 days. On the way, you stop for short racing on small tracks that some of them people don't know very well. And you do hill climb and you do rally stages and you have fun and you have friends. This is something that can answer the need of customer sport, and SRO is customer sport. We're very, very serious about, we're very serious about what we're doing with the GTX. We have started conversation with manufacturers. 4 of them are taking it seriously with us. We have also initiated with another 2. So we believe that step by step, we will have manufacturers doing it. As we say, it has to be initiated by the manufacturers to develop the cars, but then designed for customer, because we hope that then it will be customer doing these rallies. And to start it in a big way with an opening, a prologue each year. The idea will be ultimately to do 3 rallies, 1 in Europe, 1 in America, and 1 elsewhere. And before, to do something special. And we're very happy to announce that we made an agreement with the ACI, the Automobile Club Italia, for this event to take the prestigious name of Targa Florio in Sicily. Imagine what it will be. You go for 3 days to Sicily and you go around Pergusa and you drive up the roads of the Etna and you have this fantastic historic road. And for the manufacturers, you can win the Targa Florio, and I think that's very, very important. We said for the technical revolution of the 21st century, we want to go back to the roots of motorsport. This is a Mercedes winning it in 1924. and we hope maybe another Mercedes will win it in 2024. So that's really what we'll, not that I say that Mercedes will be coming to GTX, but you know, that's the vision. Not the vision. I already did a mistake with GT2. I don't want to do another mistake. So now the last announcements of the day. One, I would like to call George Kurtz to tell us about the future of Crowdstrike with this event.
George. All right, thank you. All right, so first I have to thank Stefan and Greg Gill for SRO and what it means to motorsports. It's been a great relationship for many years, and really the whole entire team, all of SRO. Couple things. I always get, if you don't know about CrowdStrike, we're a cybersecurity company. We stop breaches. If you have ransomware, those sort of things, you can see me between stints. You know, I'll be available. But I get asked two questions when people know that I'm into motorsports. The first one is, how'd you get into racing? And that's a story for another day. And the second one is, we see you on the Mercedes, you know, F1 car. How did you get into that? And my answer is, it started with SRO. That's really where our motorsports sponsorship started. And it really has worked out well. And just like Kenny, and Kenny called me before he got into this, and I said, yeah, it's a great organization. But just like Kenny, I'm a businessman, and it has to make sense to be able to do all this, and it has. It's generated a lot of business and awareness for CrowdStrike, and we're known around the world. Maybe everybody doesn't know what we do, but they know the name, at least, CrowdStrike. So one of the things that we've talked about for the future is, you know, this has been on my bucket list for many years. I've been doing it for the last couple of years. And it's a tremendous race. And for me, when you think about GT racing, as you said, it really is a pinnacle of GT racing. And for the folks that aren't out there, you know, when you're, they're just assassins that are on the track, the pro guys. So we try to stay out of the way. We have a lot of fun. We try to be competitive, but it's an amazing race. So with that, we wanted to announce what we're doing next year. And thankfully, and we're really excited to announce that next year's race will be the CrowdStrike 24 Hours of Spa. Thanks to you. So, yep. So we appreciate the opportunity. We appreciate the partnership, and I can't wait to come back next year and have some more fun. And hopefully this year we'll get a little bit lucky, and we'll manage to stay out of trouble, and we'll see you at the end of 24 hours. All right, thank you.
Thank you. And we're very pleased. You hope you will continue bringing American competitors to Spa, because, I mean, with Samantha Tan this year, there are more. And it's good to see some of our American friends here, both on the business side and also on the driving side, and sometime on both. The last announcement of the day will come from Mclaren, and I will call Darius Gt3 to join me on stage. Darius. I leave you the mic.
Thank you very much. Hi everyone, it is with great pleasure that we are here today to launch McLaren's all-new single-make championship, Mclaren Trophy Europe.
There's an age-old question in motorsport. Is it the car or the driver that makes a difference? What if you put all drivers in identical cars, so that when the light goes out, only the drivers make the difference? Our one-make championship, McLaren Trophy Europe, will pitch drivers against each other in identical racing cars.
We're delighted to be announcing the all-new Arturo Trophy. Our McLaren Motorsport engineers have taken the Arturo Gt4 and unleashed it from all regulatory restrictions. We've increased the power to 585 horsepower and added an aggressive aero package for even more downforce.
McLaren Trophy Europe is the ultimate Pro-Am championship where bronze comes first. We're delighted that McLaren Trophy will be racing alongside the Fanatec GT World Challenge, arguably the best GT racing package in Europe. The championship will consist of 10 races across 5 weekends and 1 round supporting the legendary 24 Hours of Spa, which promises to be a real highlight for all our drivers.
When you take to the racetrack in a McLaren, you're not just racing a McLaren, you're racing with McLaren. When you join McLaren Trophy, you become part of the McLaren story, and your actions on the racetrack will form part of the next chapter of McLaren motorsport history.
So it's fair to say that McLaren has an unwavering passion for racing. Since 1963, we've enjoyed 5 decades of success in some of the world's most competitive championships. Notably, Formula One, but also IndyCar, Can-Am, winning the 24-hour Le Mans on our first attempt. And more recently, Extreme E, esports, and of course, the reason why we're all here today, in GT racing, where we've won multiple championships. But to echo Bruno Senna in the film we just saw, there is an age-old question in motorsport. Is it the car or the driver that makes the biggest difference? And what if you could put all the drivers into identical cars, completely equal machinery, so that when the lights go out, it all comes down to the driver to make the difference? Well, here at McLaren, we're really excited to be doing just that. McLaren Trophy Europe is our all-new one-make championship, where drivers will race identical cars. And for us, it's the next chapter in our racing history. So McLaren Trophy Europe will be the ultimate single-make Pro-Am championship where bronze comes first. What do we mean by this? Well, Pro-Am will be our top category, with the race format putting the emphasis on the bronze driver to make the difference. As such, in McLaren Trophy Europe, the bronze drivers won't just win their category, but if they're fast enough, they'll win the races outright and the championship outright too. Drivers will take on 15-minute races with a mandatory pit stop for a driver change. This is to challenge competitive, ambitious Pro-Am driver pairings. But crucially, it'll be the bronze driver that has to qualify and start the races. And we are also extremely pleased today to introduce you to our all-new specialist race car designed exclusively to compete in our one-make championship, the McLaren Arturo Trophy, which you can see being unveiled over here. Our motorsport engineers have taken the Arturo Gt4 and unleashed it from all regulatory restrictions. With 585 PS, it is sensationally quick in a straight line, and coupled with an enhanced aerodynamics package, it is also supremely agile in both low and high-speed corners. Our engineers have designed Arturo Trophy to give ultimate driver engagement to both amateurs and professionals alike. And with significantly reduced lap times, we are confident that it'll make an ideal step between GT4 and GT3. But next year, we're also pleased to say that our drivers will also have the opportunity to race the existing McLaren 570S Trophy. Based on the 570S GT4, a car that has won over 200 races and 25 championships, we introduce another 110 PS to create an unshackled race car with 540 PS at its disposal. So finally, I would like to thank Stefan, Patricia, and the whole of the SRO for welcoming us and giving us the opportunity to join their fantastic Fanatec GT World Challenge powered by AWS package. Next year, we're going to be supporting 5 events, each with 2 races, to form a 10-race championship. As you would expect, all of our races will be live streamed across multiple channels so that our fans will be able to keep up to date with all the action. We'll be starting in Paul Ricard on the first weekend of June, before going to Misano. And something we're all extremely excited about is that we're going to be a support to the 24 Hours of Spa in exactly 12 months' time, which we're certain is going to be a real highlight for all of our drivers. The championship will then round out at Hockenheim and Barcelona. So, for all ambitious, competitive Pro-Am driver pairings and race teams out there, we very much look forward to welcoming you to our championship. We are exceptionally excited about this new championship, about this opportunity, so we really hope that you are too. We're going to be around all weekend, so please come and say hi, or alternatively, get in touch by dropping us an email at mclarentrophy@mclaren.com. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We've wrapped it up in exactly 1 hour and 10 minutes. Thank you very much for having followed it all the way. I hope it was useful and you've learned some things. And I wish you a fantastic weekend and a great, great race that's going to be, as always, breathtakingly exciting. Thank you very much.